26 divines to fully unlock this tree and farm ritual. Oh shit! 17? God damn, 17? Whoa, that's crazy. What's good, y'all? It's LR. So, PoE 2's crafting has a few issues. I want to talk about those today. I actually think it has a lot of potential. I'm not as doomer about this as I have been on a lot of other things. But I do think there are a few problems that extend past just the limited access we currently have to its crafting. So, for instance, start with essences. It's the worst offender. I don't know who these are for. In PoE 1, they guarantee you a mod. One exactly. And that mod, generally speaking, is something that the whole other item you're randomizing around and hoping to get something workable for the multitude of other crafting options that exist in the game. But the way they've done essences here is some kind of weird fusion between Harvest and the original system. And I have to ask, how long would this even be good? Because obviously we have very limited access to the greater essences, which are the only thing that have any kind of real potential at this point in the game. Probably not even anymore. I'll get to that in a second. But these aren't good past the first day. Like literally the first day, maybe the second day. Upgrades a normal item to magic with 1 defense modifier. So it's a random, not a guaranteed mod of any kind. All randoms kinds of amounts of ES and everything. Or evasion armor. But upgrades a normal to a magic? Like you would have to be starting SSF tomorrow for this to still be useful. Like literally, if you've been playing SSF up to this point, it's week 3 or 4 now, even past the first day of trade, these are already pretty useless. And I would argue the first weekend of SSF, depending on how much time you have to play, these are already worthless. Upgrading a normal item to magic and locking in 1 mod isn't exactly amazing. If anything, I'd argue what these should do is these should augment a magic item with a magic mod of this kind at the very least. Not just upgrade from white only, but they should also be able to augment. Also, if it did both, I think these would still be pretty useful for a while. Like I would still be keeping in mind a lot of white items just to maybe double hit them with ES mods. But only upgrade and no augment variety at all probably needs a bit of work. Maybe a tier higher than this. Maybe you can upgrade 3 of them into an augment one. So something, because as it is, these are just worthless. The ones on the right, they still have some use. They are quite rare, extremely rare, in fact. Even if I was invested into farming these on the tree, I don't really think they would net you a whole lot more. Chances to contain an essence. Like, just getting an essence, getting 2 additional essences, isn't really going to change anything. This isn't going to make it to where you get a lot of greater essences. It's just going to give you a lot more of this. And at this rate, even if I increased it by 100%, I wouldn't want billions of these effectively completely useless essences to only have maybe 2 of each of these in every slot. And it only upgrades a magic to a rare, so you can't like augment it. You basically can lock in 2 okay-ish mods, maybe. The range is completely random because there's no tiering of these essences. And then that's it. On its own, independent of any other system, this really has almost no place in the game at the moment. These, at best, should be the minimum tier of what they can do. Because I would argue, just like the rare, maybe you can only do this once. Maybe that's the balance. An item's been essenced. Augment essenced, so you can't do it again. But you should be able to exalt with these. These should allow you to exalt I think that'd be a good first step into making Essence a bit more potent and having a bit more impact on the game. So upgrades a magic item to a rare with 1 mana modifier should just read augments a rare item with a new random mana modifier. Only once. So for instance, once you've done that to a rare, once you've augmented a rare, exalted it via an essence, you couldn't do it again. I think that would be a fair solution. I think that would work. But they need something, and that's keeping in mind this current amount of rarity. If they want to make a new tier of essence, and I think no matter what, these need to augment blues. These have to augment blues. They're just too bad regardless. If you keep this upgrade, there should be another tier above this that's about this rare, where you can exalt a rare with one of these random mana, cold, or lightning modifiers. I think that I would actually be pretty happy with it at that point. I'll be honest, I haven't used the one all week. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys are getting tons of value out of this, but I haven't used an essence all week. We're gonna have to talk to Alva, because hey Alva, that's a very convenient way of looking at these. So, omens. Omens are, I think omens are fine. I like them. They're actually really good. They're one of the things I was most excited about, because I was worried about like what crafting is going to feel like in PoE 2. And I still like them a lot. It's just that we don't really have access to the ones that matter. This tends to happen in PoE 2 or PoE 1, excuse me, where the meta crafting can be prohibitively expensive for a lot of players. Usually, for the Giga gamers, streamers, content creators, whoever can play this game a billion hours a day, usually you will see them interacting with this. They'll be like, oh, I need to do this on my gear. Oh, I need to go do that on my gear. They will go out of their way, invest into the mechanic, and start doing it. If you go look at what content creators are doing for gear, how they're gearing, if they're SSF, even if, or trade, whatever, they are doing Sekima Trials, Ultimatum, or Breach. That is because actually farming Ritual, first off, is nearly impossible, as let's check on it today. What is the Audience of the King today? Ah, yes, 6.5 divines each. Ah, I love, excellent. So, it is at least 26 divines. If you wanted to get all of your Ritual passive points, 26 divines to fully unlock this tree and farm Ritual. Now, hey, maybe you've done it and you're rolling in currency, you're rolling in these omens. I haven't seen anyone doing this. I haven't seen a single person tell me, no one has told me, yeah, dude, I spent 26 divines and now I'm making 10 divines an hour. It was the best decision of my life. I'm getting omens left and right. I'm crafting all kinds of crazy gear. It's ludicrous, man. No one is doing this. The baseline Ritual is so unrewarding. It's kind of ridiculous, especially when compared to the demon mechanic. But what's even worse is that it's so far behind. Like, forget rewards for a second. It's so far behind in what it provides that even SSF gamers are better off spamming Breach and just slamming Exalts and Chaos and getting tons of the basic currency in the game. And if they can't do that because it's too risky, like hardcore, you can go look at Alkaiser, they spam Sekima. They spam Sekima because it's pretty consistent currency returns, it's fairly safe, and it gives you a lot of different kinds of jewels. It even gives you a particular jewel, a little preview of what's going to be in the next video, a particular jewel that can be very useful. Now, again, the fact that in SSF nobody is trying to get meta crafting, it's not accessible, is pretty sad. I expect that I might, before I finish editing and putting out this video, that this might even just be buffed. Like, if the patch is tomorrow, the day after, something, this could literally just be buffed before I even finish putting this video out, in which I'll just scrap this whole thing. But yeah, it's just like a no-brainer. There's no way this is correct. the rate at which you see these, the rate at which you get them. It's a hard to access form of crafting in PoE 1, meta crafting. It's effectively non-existent, which is why more or less the entire point of the video is explaining that I actually do have quite a bit of faith in the crafting basis that they have set up here. It's just unfortunate that even though it's early access, it's in such a poor state, we can't give feedback. It was just kind of a weird thing, right? Like, the point of early access is to give feedback. But I actually can't give feedback on the crafting. The feedback that I'm giving at this moment is that I can't give feedback. I don't get enough. I didn't get enough essences to really. I can pretty much tell that they don't make sense as they are because I never use them, and they seem to be only effective for at most the first week of a league. So I can give that feedback, but on Omens, I literally can't. I can't say like, oh yeah, crafting's not too bad. You just, it's pretty expensive. You have to use a few Omens here and there, but you can actually deterministically work towards a certain type of item with a few base if you get enough bases. I can't give that feedback. I haven't been able to use Omens really outside of gambling. So the Omen of Corruption, you can use Omens to craft good maps by ensuring you only get prefixes, which has rarity and quant. That said, this is pretty much all we have to work with at the moment. With Breach, with MF, doing Breach farming, it actually spits out enough raw currency to where effectively the best way to craft is to gamble on bases ad infinitum with just endless items popping up on the ground and endless currency being used on them. There's really nothing else you can do it anywhere near the same effective rate. You would probably the meta currency that I think would be the most helpful if you could access it and use it for crafting right now. Let's just look at how much it costs, because I said it was prohibitively expensive, but let's see how expensive it is. Is it actually? Where is it at? Oh, Chaos Orbs will remove only suffix modifier. So you're going to chaos an item because you have really good prefixes. Let's say it's that perfect two-handed fizz weapon again. Really good prefixes. Let's try to get. I just want crit damn bonus. If I could just guarantee only changing suffix, I'd chaos orbit a few times. Sure. Let's see, how much is that? Now, this isn't, again, we're not making a mirror item here. It's not like you hit that crit damn bonus and you're like, oh shit, I'm about to start doing mirror service. I'm gonna make infinite now. No, you're gonna hit that crit damn bonus and be like, oh shit, the item is probably now worth 17 divines. If you had a really good T1 fizz rolls, but the suffixes were complete ass, you would need what's the highest tier of crit hit chance, the highest tier of crit down bonus, and probably the highest tier of accurate attack speed to be a mirror item. Bro, if you're using this, you're just trying to get crit down bonus. You're just trying to get attack speed. This isn't going to protect the other mods in the suffixes. Again, they're simply too rare. The supply is too low, and that's pretty much it. The supply is too low. The demand, while setting the price here, it could be met. The amount of people that want to engage with this type of crafting is pretty low. It's pretty much people who are really delving deep into their characters at this point. And a majority of the players that are playing the game with its really high retention are still in the campaign. I mean, that might sound surprising, and maybe it seems common, but I've shared this. I've talked about this with a few friends of mine, and they're always like, "There's no way there's still people in the campaign." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course there's still people in the campaign. People can't. Everyone can spend a whole bunch of time playing the game. Game's fairly difficult. Tons of reasons to re-roll, try different stuff. So." Really, the amount of people that are actually wanting to engage with this is kind of low, but the supply is nearly non-existent. So, again, why am I sitting here theorizing on the supply? Just look. What is this? What is this listing? That's it for crafting, pretty much. The only last thing we can talk about is expedition. And instead of talking about it, let's just go ahead and show you. Okay, Gwynin, what's up? All right, Gwynin, I would like a bow, please. What do you have here? T2. Oh, this bow's got attack speed, crit dam. The rolls are pretty low. Let's just roll this shopping window. I'm pretty sure I've already looked at it.
What else do I have?
Nope. So the best part about working with any of the expedition vendors, if you're gonna spend any time doing this, is pretty much just looking for items that have already rolled decently. Because the odds that you look at something here that's dog shit and then you fix it up to be good, like this crackling quarterstaff. Alright, crit hit chance, attack speed. But the prefixes are pretty much borked. They are they're just bad. The chances that I get elemental damage with attack skills, flat added cold, flat added lightning, pretty low. We do have the flat added cold already. It is a low tier roll, but let's go ahead and let's work with the item. Reroll the prefixes. Hold up. Boom. Yep. All right, but she's giving us a chance. Boom.
Certainly room for improvement. That aspect in particular is
okay. She actually high rolled. She actually high rolled lightning. Fuck.
It's got a rather
nope.
lucky flaw.
So she gave us something kind of workable. At this point, you just run over here. Boom. And elemental damage with attacks. And the item sucks. Okay. So that's pretty much what every single expedition experience is going to be like. You're going to, again, look for another item like that. Rinse and repeat. It's too weak. It's simply too weak. Nobody is like, I'm going to fix all my gear with expedition. I'll spam expedition and get... No, you won't. What you're going to do is you're going to spam breach. You're going to spam Sekima. You're going to spam ultimatum. You're going to get chaos orbs, exalted orbs, regals, vols, and you're going to just throw these items at decently rolled tiered rares that drop onto the ground. It is by far and above. Forget MF. Forget raw currency, forget trade league. Even in an SSF environment, when the best thing to do is the same currency farming strat people are doing in trade, your crafting is broken. It could be good though. The pieces are there. I've seen a lot of people just write off crafting entirely. They just go, well, PoE 2's crafting is just slam exalt think. And at the moment that's true. But it could be a whole lot better, and in fact, it probably should be. I think given another week or two, had the game released on the 15th like they originally planned, they would have probably done something, fit in something about increased drop rates of the omens, maybe take a look at essences and readjust those, maybe how they work, and also adjusted expedition, because really, the weird thing is, going back to the essences for a second, the weird thing is, even if you say essences are supposed to be an only early game thing that is helpful for crafting with the first few days and then it falls off, what's weird about that is that it has nodes on the tree. Once you have that, you would never bum rush these nodes for gear. You would never. So you're gonna have to get them at least after you've invested into dropping waystones, because you need map sustain. You're pushing through the Atlas. The most important thing is Atlas map sustain. You're going to take these nodes. So after you've taken these nodes, let's say you're very conservative on the nodes that you take here, you can then pick these up around tier 8s and tier 9s. By the time you're doing tier 8s and tier 9s, the first tier of the way their essences work have almost completely lost their value already. You're already done with those. You don't care about those. You drop more magic and blue items than you'd ever need. The rate at which you would find up whites and force fire res on them with a fire essence versus just finding that item drop on the ground with fire resistance, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This whole tree needs to be updated, modified. It needs to be weighted towards greater essences. The lowest tier of essence needs to be adjusted to augment blues as well. They're bad. This is the new year. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. I'm looking forward to what changes they're going to make. I'm excited to try them. I will still plan to pretty much just be covering PoE 2 and playing it until release, talking about it, what changes they make along the way, and hopefully will result in the game being better by the time it is released. If you enjoyed watching this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.